today I wanted to touch on something that's going to be useful to all of us as we're all getting our T poses. They're rolling out these T poses as we go. Most of us have them. We don't know what to do with them. We don't know so I wanted to take a chance to load in a T pose actually, because the structure on the T pose and on the posed model is entirely different. It's way lower, like a lower poly count. It's way I'm gonna load in a T pose just so I can. I'm gonna load in a regular model and a T pose just so I can explain prior to starting. So let me import just any beast. All right, cool. This is cool. I'm just gonna have a regular beast here, and then I'm gonna import a FBX. 1 second. All right, so if I zoom in on this character, this is the character that we received from the team. This is completely polished. This guy has subdivisions on subdivisions to make it look nice and clean. So if you go into the mesh of these objects, you're gonna see that they're very high on poly count. This is a little more difficult to edit and stuff like that. So I wanted to start basic. So let me load in one of the T poses so you guys can see what I'm trying to say. 1 second. All right. Import FB. All right, cool. So I'm gonna load in my guy right here. Boom. So as you can tell off rip, you can see that it's like a lower quality, but this is not like the final look of it. This is just a few subdivisions away, but I'll explain that in a second. So look, I'm gonna make my guy completely nude up top. And this is gonna set up a canvas for us to be able to create a new garment over it. I'm gonna leave him as is, but now if I look at the wireframe for this one, you can tell that it's way more manageable. This is like way less faces to your mesh. So this is way easier to do what we're gonna try to learn today. So all right, I'm gonna take it from here. I'm gonna just go straight into it. Look, so we have a nude character right now. If anybody has any questions along the way, just put it in the chat. I'm paying attention. I'll answer it to the best of my knowledge, and if not, we learn together. So, all right. So this is what works for me. This may not be the best, but this is what works for me, and I'm gonna try to explain it the best way possible. So look. So what I do is that I click on where, if I wanted to make pants, I would use the legs as the model. But right now I'm wearing on the shirt, so I'm gonna use this. So I'm gonna click tab to go into edit mode. And now that I'm in edit mode, you see that like the normal selector is the box selector, like the what we're used to, this thing over here, like the way that it selects box. But if you click C on your keyboard, it's gonna give you the circle selector. And this circle selector, what it's gonna allow you to do is that you can kind of like just paint over the area that you want. And then with plus and minus on your numeric. Oh, I'm sorry, Red. What shortcut did I use? I'm sorry. Hold on, let me take it back a second because I don't want nobody to get lost. How can I do that? I don't know how to do that. The only thing that I did right now was press tab to go into edit mode. That was the only thing that I did so far.
Yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. It's just tab. You press tab, right? And once you press tab, it's gonna go back and forth from edit mode and back to normal. So once you're in edit mode, that's what I was trying to say. Once you're in edit mode, it's just like the regular selector. But if you click C, that's gonna give you the shortcut that you can access here too. You can just hold it and select circle. But the shortcut to that is the letter C. So if I click C, and then with plus and minus on the numeric keypad, I can make it smaller or bigger depending on how I needed it. So right now I'm gonna go a little smaller just to get in, but I'm gonna select all of this. This is part of what I want as a t-shirt, let's say. I'm gonna do it up to here. Let's do a short sleeve for now. Oh, I'm sorry, wait. Make sure that you're on faces or edges or what you're trying to edit. I need this on faces, sorry. All right, cool. So again, C is for the circle selector. That is gonna help a lot depending on what you're doing, to be honest. Let's get this guy viewport front. And I'm still selecting. I'm just making sure that I select like the more or less what I need. I'm gonna spin him. Since we're working in 3D, you gotta make sure that you get every angle covered. Let me get this side. Let's get these. Let's make this smaller so I can get in there. All All right, let me see. Let's get these right here. Right now, all I'm doing is just selecting the faces that I'm going to be editing. Just like a rough shape of where I want that shirt to fall, kind of. Let's select this. We don't need this one. These I'm just holding shift and selecting just to select the ones that I missed by mistake. Okay, so I don't know. Red can help you on this. I'm on a Mac. On a Mac, if you double tap your mouse. No, lefty. So right now, what I'm doing is building a short sleeve t-shirt. If I wanted a long sleeve t-shirt, I would want to select more. I would want to select more of the area that I'm trying to cover, for example. Okay, cool. So right now I'm going for a short sleeve t-shirt, and look, it's gonna be off because this is shorter than that side. So hold on. Let me select these just so we're on the same thing. Now it's equal on both sides. All right, cool. So right now on Mac, I don't know how to do this on give me 1 second, guys. My lady needs something real fast.
Messaging.
What?
Messaging.
Okay, here. All right, so right now I have everything selected. So look, I don't know how to do this on Windows, but on Mac, if I double tap on my mouse without clicking anything, what it does is that it isolates that one thing that I'm using. I don't know how to do this on Windows. If Red can help, that would be great, but I really don't know how to do it on Windows. On Mac, you just double tap without clicking, and it does this. It's gonna like isolate whatever image you have selected, whatever object. I only do this so that I can get up here under the balaclava and select these faces so I can leave an opening for the t-shirt. You know what I'm trying to say? All right, I'm gonna just take it from there, and then let's just act like I really don't know how to do that, but I'll figure it out and I'll get it to you guys soon. So then right now, what I want to do is separate this. So I'm gonna duplicate it. Shift D. If you hold Shift and you press D, that's gonna duplicate what you have. You just place it right in the same place, and then right-click, separate, selection. So now this is a complete separate mesh from the skin. So now if I go back, I can select the skin or I can select the shirt area that I just made. I'm gonna add a color just so that we can differentiate between the two. I'm gonna make this blue just so we can, let me see. Okay, why not? Here we go. All right. Why is it not changing?
Since you set up the section inside the edit tool, go back into the edit mode, and then you can pick your color in there since you're doing it, because you have to actually select it.
That's weird though. It's never done that.
Yeah, there is where it says assign. Watch, go back. You did something. Yeah, and it hit assign on the right side where it says assign, and it should have changed it unless it's under.
What's weird is that, okay, so let me do this. Let me just delete this and create.
Yeah.
Let me see something.
Delete it from the other, the main one.
1 sec. Let me see something. Okay. So let me take this off. New. See, but even here, why is it not? Let me make sure. Hold on. Yeah, that's different. I don't know. Something is weird now. 1 second. Let me figure this part out. Why are you? Okay, I know what's happening. It is a different color. It's just under the. So look, set origin to geometry. I do that because it's gonna set the origin. Sorry about that. I do this so that when I start scaling or moving, the origin to my item is the middle of my item. So now, if I scale this up or down, now we start seeing what I was trying to say. So now I'm just gonna place it here. I'm gonna a rough area to like kind of like more or less where it's gonna go. And you can see it's very boxy, like how when I loaded up the FBX, the T-Pose file is very boxy still. You're still gonna need to like smooth it out. We're gonna fix this in a second. So for it to not be boxy like this, you just add some subdivision modifiers. You go to your the modifier tab right here, and you go to add modifier, and you can go to subdivision surface and do the same thing that our beasts do. They have 2, so you go by 2. And now it's gonna take a little bit of fine tuning. Now we go in here. Sorry, we're gonna click edit again so that you can see the character but still see the meshes on the shirt. I'm gonna click on vertices up here so that when I'm selecting it, I can only move that one piece as opposed to the whole face. And now wherever I see a little error, I'm gonna just go in on every little hiccup and extrude it a little more just to make sure that the skin is not showing. Give me 1 second. You're working in 3D, so it has to look good from every angle. It has to work no matter what. And then give me 1 second. Let me just make these to where it's not touching skin. 1 second, sorry. All right, more or less. It doesn't need to be perfect right now. Let me fix this side. And if you move it around enough, or if you just shift it into position correctly, you wouldn't need to be doing this. I'm just showing you guys just in case you come across this hiccup. I don't want you to think that you're doing something wrong. It's just, it takes a second to start seeing what you're trying to get across, kind of. All right, so more or less, I can, off rip, I know that none of the cloth is touching skin, more or less. Let's fix this little bit right here in the middle. So I did the same thing. I just went into the, what was it that Red said? To isolate on PC is Shift H. On Mac, you just double tap your mouse, just so I can see the item itself. But so up here, this doesn't look too, I'm not happy with this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back into tab mode, which is edit mode. I'm gonna click on edges, just so I have more control of this. And I'm gonna select the edges of where this is right now. So I'm holding shift and selecting the edges right now so that they can stay together as one selection. And once I have all of them here, now I can, there's a few things you can do now. You can duplicate this and make it smaller. That's not the ideal way. So I'm just gonna extrude. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna extrude with the letter E, and now you can see it's gonna start adding more geometry to the t-shirt. Now we can start building the neck kind of. So I'm gonna take it up a little bit this way. I don't want it that high up. Let's say a little bit this way is okay. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. Extrude again and leave it there, but now scale it down. And you can start seeing the shape of the shirt. It's gonna start coming in already. Look, if I tab out, you can start seeing that you're already giving it the neckline. And the same thing that I'm doing on the neck, I'm gonna follow up on the sleeves and on the bottom so that I can give it a seam. And now we start getting into the actual shape of the shirt. Another thing that's good for clothing, or for anything really, another thing that's good is that once you have your model and you're happy with more or less the look of it, you can add another modifier that's called solidify, and it's gonna give it some thickness to it. So solidify, and now if we wanted to, you can make this super thick, and the inside shell or whatever is gonna give me 1 second. That's what it is. Okay. All right. So now, where's it at? Solidify. If I click on the object and then I start solidifying, it's slowly getting thicker as we go. There you go. You can start seeing inside or outside the shell, however you need it to be. You can just modify that. I want it a little bit thick inside. So now when I go back to the character, you're gonna see that on the arms, there's no gaps really between the skin and the t-shirt kinda. And then this also, on the edges, you can always the same exact thing. If you hold shift and alt, and then you click on the next edge, it'll select the entire round. So the entire circumference of that edge. And you can go into camera review from the front. You do this on your keyboard. All the numbers on your numeric keyboard are a camera angle. 1 is from the front, 7 is from the top, 3 is from the side. If you press 9, it'll rotate that side. So it's just getting used to the little shortcuts on your keyboard. But I want to have this front facing so that I can see exactly what's happening. So I'm gonna press E again to extrude and give me some more faces. I don't want to go too far because what I want to do with this one is that after I set it there, I'm actually gonna scale it down so that it's in the t-shirt kinda. And then now, let me do this so you can see. So then now I'm gonna extrude it one more time and set it again, scale. But now I want to take that part of the shirt in. So now it creates this nice little a concave look to the t-shirt itself, kind of. And now when you have that on the character, if you let me do the subdivision on this. So if anybody has their T-pose, once you're exporting it, they only do this so that it's a lower file size. That's why you can see the boxy images and stuff like that on a T-pose. But if you just throw on a subdivision modifier and you bring it up to 2, you're gonna have the beast exactly as we get them in our pose position and everything. And if you do this with every item on your T-pose, then you're gonna have the same quality, the same exact thing that the team provided us with, but on your T-pose. Now everything starts looking smooth and everything starts making sense. We got a little hiccup back here. We gotta fix this. And then as we look, and that fast, we have a T-shirt. That's a T-shirt that we can make any color. We can start adding any kind of logos, any kind of whatever. Like we can go crazy now, the same exact way that we would with what they provided us. This is a very basic T-shirt. We can definitely start getting crazier, like adding ripples and waves and baggy clothes and stuff like that. But I feel like it's better to focus on getting the basics first. So, does anybody have any questions so far at all? All right, cool. So and then how can we add logos or things on the T-shirt? Yo, Brongus, so in the last tutorial that we did, if you go back to the video, you're gonna see an entire breakdown of how to get I'll do it again right now just to give it a refresh. But if you go back into that video, you're gonna see the 100% from the beginning to end in detail and exactly how to go about it. Like if you go back to that video, 100%. I'll add one right now just so you guys can see. Let me see. What do I have on? Let me get something from my iPad real fast. I wasn't ready for that part. Real quick. 1 second. I'm just gonna make anything random. AKCB and that's it. All right, let's do this one. Share PNG. Let me just send it to the computer. Sorry for the wait. That's exactly what I'm using, Lefty. Yo, if you get a chance later on, Lefty, let's get onto Discord on a VC, and I'll show you exactly how I use it, bro. Because it's really simple with the Magic Mouse, bro. To be honest. Let me just load it in real quick. A sec. All right, cool. All right, so to add an image into your scene, Brongus, we're gonna start here. So look, so the first thing that I do, there's a million ways to go about this. You can add it as image texture, you can add it, but I'm just gonna show you guys how I learned it, and then we can make the best of that. And then if you guys want to find a different way, then we'll show that way as well. But right now I'm gonna show with what I know. So you can insert an image as plain. If you don't see this option on your Blender, it's because you didn't activate it. You need to go to Edit, go to Preferences, go to Add-ons, and then up here, you're gonna type in Image, and you're gonna see this option, Import Images as Planes. If you select this, now you're gonna have that option in your Blender. So once you've done that, you come here, and the way you bring out that menu is you hold Shift and you press the letter A, and this menu comes up. And this is where you start, you can add anything from here, you can add it into the scene. So I'm gonna go ahead and add an image as plain. I'm gonna find the image that I'm trying to use, which is this one for now. And I'm gonna import it. It's gonna put it right there. Wherever you have your cursor, it's gonna import the image to. So this is my image that we're gonna use right now. All right. Yes, sir. Let's get it. All right. So what I like doing is that I like using these camera angles to my advantage, because this front-facing angle, it's 100% front-facing. You know that you're not in a weird angle, so what you see is what you get. And the same thing for all of these angles, at the 45, at the 90s. These are all the acute angles to what you're working with. So I like putting the image, I love placing the image over where I'm initially planning on having that image. So for this case, I want to have it in the front of the t-shirt, for example. I want to place the image on the front of the t-shirt. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to move it around, And you can use this. There's shortcuts to move, rotate, and all that stuff, but we'll show you guys that as we go along the way. I'm gonna go into this camera mode, which shows me the side. That's number 3 on your keyboard, on your keypad. And then I'm gonna press R to rotate. So right now, normally you would have to lock in the axis that you want to rotate, like X, Y, Z, or whatever. But since the camera is in this angle, it's only gonna rotate in that axis. You know what I'm trying to say? So since the t-shirt has this little like slant tilt to the body of the beast, I like replicating that with the image itself so that it can sit nicely. I'll bring it as close as possible to the t-shirt, go back to the front view with the number 1 on the keypad, and then I'm going to scale this down. I press S on my keypad, and I'm just going to drag it down more or less to where I know that it's going to fit the shirt how I want it to fit. Once I have it there, this is more or less how I would like it. Once I have it there, I'm going to press edit to go into tab mode, and I'm going to press right click, subdivide, and I'm going to bring the number of cuts up a notch. Once it's up on 10, I want to do this again, subdivide again. So now I have enough faces to play around with on my mesh. Now that the mesh is like that, I can go and add a modifier on that image called shrink wrap. This is going to give me this little box. And then now right here where it says target, you're going to take the dropper and you're going to place the dropper on any object that you're trying to put the image on. It doesn't necessarily have to be a t-shirt. It could be a car. It can be a mask. It can be sneakers, whatever you're trying to do. It can be some ice cream. It can be some M&Ms. Who knows? But you're going to click on the object that you want it to project on. So I'm going to click on object torso 001 because that's my t-shirt. So boom. Now we have a rough projection of that image on the t-shirt already. So now it's going to take a little more playing around and stuff. But so now you can, let me see. So now you click the image. And you got to play a little bit with the offset over here on the side. So like all of these are different versions of how to project it onto the t-shirt. My favorite is project. The easiest to use to me is target normal project. So we're going to use this one today. You're going to see that it's not covering, like you can't see the whole image within the t-shirt and stuff like that. But it's because of the way that the faces on the mesh are built. So you see how this one has, let's say 100 faces. And then the shirt itself is very low quality, like the poly. So I'm going to take the shirt and subdivide this as well. And let's take this, subdivide. And now we have more of like what we were at when like with the initial beast, like with the beast they gave us. And then now with the image itself, I want to play around a little bit. I'm going to play around with the offset. Let's bring it up. I see that around here, it starts to roughly cover the whole t-shirt. And right there, I see it covers completely without the t-shirt extruding through the image. So what I want to do is right click and shade smooth so that there's no boxy anything. Everything is smooth now. And now the t-shirt has a logo on it. And that one is ready to go. Like you can animate this right now, and that's what's gonna come up on your animation. That's what's gonna be on the front of your animation. Lefty, hopefully that helped. Brongus. If not, I highly suggest going into the last video and getting some of those little gems that was in that video. Yes, sir. No. So right now, I forgot. Good call, Red. So right now, after you do the modifiers, that's with everything, right? So even the subdivision modifiers and everything, every modifier that you use, before you export it out of the session, you need to apply these. And what you do is you go into the little arrow right here and you click apply. Now, this is already good to go, but it's still not joined with the t-shirt. So you're gonna wanna click on the image and then hold shift and click on your t-shirt, and you can just right click join. Okay, wait, I gotta do it the opposite now. I did the same thing from before. Hold on. Click the t-shirt first and then the image and then join. Why is it doing that? 1 second. Okay. I think that's what it was. The t-shirt had a modifier itself too. All right, so no modifiers are active. I'm gonna select the image again, select the t-shirt and join. It should, okay, let's do the opposite. T-shirt and then the image join. There we go. All right, cool. So now that this is good to go. Now this is all one object, this t-shirt. With the image on it and everything is only one object. And now it's ready to go. Sorry about that. Good call, Red. And the same
that's how you usually have it set up in your shop, right? Where you have like the shirt set up already like that.
Yeah, so everything in the shop, it's already joined, and you don't have to do any of this. It's just ready to go in the shop.
That's awesome.
And then the same thing with like if you guys are using T-pose, it's gonna be a little more difficult if you use a posed position because the model, it's already subdivided, so you have way more faces to select, to extrude, to play with. It's just gonna get a little more complicated. But if you start off with your T-pose and you get the basic to that, then 100% you can pull out the GLB file, your 3D file, and you will be able to do the same thing. Just a little more detail, attention to detail, you know? And let me see, let me just, so now if I apply the subdivision modifier to everything on this beast right now, he's ready to go. He's fresh, ready to go for any animation. The subdivision modifier is what's gonna help from taking it from that boxy look. It only happens because they tried to provide us with a smaller file size. Boom, the shoes, and he's ready to go. All right, right there, that dude is ready to go. Let's see. If y'all want, we can make something else. I can redo the t-shirt so that you guys can see, or however you guys want, whatever you guys want. What do you think, Red? No, I was saying like right now this character, the t-shirt itself, like it's that shirt itself is ready to go. The character, once they subdivide it, is ready to go. He said, "Free the pants." A do-rag. Yeah, you can, gang. It's just gonna take like playing around with it. The same exact way that I showed you. So look, everything has a mesh, gang. Look, if you take the head and you're trying to make a cap or anything, select the area that is gonna cover and follow along the same exact way. The same exact way. The color on the shirt. So you select the shirt, and over here on the right, if you click on this little world image that you see here, these are your material properties. And inside of this material property, you're going to see that it has these things here. These are your materials on that object. So the image is the image that I just stuck to the t-shirt that we printed on the t-shirt. And then the material is your material on the t-shirt. And then this material, you can do it through here. You can do it through your shading tab. You can do it through wherever. There's a lot of places, but you can just, where is it? Settings, surface. Okay, so surface. And then now this white color that I changed here on the base color, it'll give me any of those colors. Now that's the t-shirt color. And then when you click it onto render mode, you're gonna see it's gonna, and there you go. And then this is the same thing for image textures as well. Like it's the same thing. You go into shading and I guess we'll get into nodes at another time, but this is another thing too. Like you can always use other images that you want to use. So if I wanted to, let's say add, check this out. So I'm gonna add a image texture. And I'm gonna connect the output color from the image texture to the input of the base color on my model, right? And I'm gonna open up a random picture. Let me just find the picture. All right, cool. Let's say this. Look, I found the picture of black wrinkled clothes. So let me just look. I'm gonna just load this up. Let me see. Give me 1 second. My computer's slow. It's still loading. Give me 1 second, gang. All right, cool. Hold on. Oh man. Open desktop. No, this. Okay. So let's just say I wanted this. Let's say. Why is it taking so long to load? One of these pictures must be huge. I just want to do this so you guys can get like a on an idea. So look, so I'm gonna select this dark black wrinkled background. Okay, cool. So I loaded up an image here, and if I go here and put it onto the viewport shader, or in, let's say, render, you're gonna see that now instead of that color that we selected, you have the texture of the image that I just selected. So now if I rotate this character and you see it from the back, like the shirt, once I zoom in and stuff like that, it's gonna start looking like that wrinkled material that I used from that picture. So you can go and download textures as well. That's how we have like the textures on the balaclava or on the jeans and stuff like that. And on Blender Kit also, Blender Kit is great for materials. This thing that I have up here, this is an add-on from Blender Kit. And if I click on materials here and I just type anything in, let's say fabric, you have a whole like thing here of selections that you could just play with. Like, so, all right, if you're making something that you're bringing out for end game, I wouldn't suggest using these because this is the thing that everybody uses. You know what I'm trying to say? But for ideas, for starting to get something going, 100%, this is something that's going to speed up your workflow and get your ideas across way faster, way better. Because like right now, if I wanted to know what this would look like on a plaid fabric, I just click on that. It's gonna work its magic. My computer's a little slow. But look, so now we have that same T-shirt in a plaid pattern with the texture, and the image is still on it. You know what I'm trying to say? So your idea is not gonna change. It's just giving you tools to make your idea come together, kinda. And let's say even if you're not happy with the way that the pattern is, you can go into your shading tab or whatever, or however you guys do it. But all of this stuff, all of these nodes, it's like a tree. It's telling, all right, so over here, it's telling this what to do. Then this tells these three things what to do. Then so on and so on. So you can kind of like dissect like what's happening. Like you can see, like if I remove this, the color is gone, but the texture is still there. And if I go back and leave this one and take this one off, the color is there, but the texture is there, and so on and so on. You can start like kind of like figuring out what's what from what they get, like what they provide you, and you can start making your own nodes and stuff like that. So what I like doing is that since that pattern is too big for what I would imagine seeing, I want to scale it down. So look over here on this thing, it says scale. You can start scaling it to where you're happy with it until you see something that works for you. You can rotate it. You can you can just play around with it until you see something that works for you. And then once you're happy, then you just save it and you're ready to go the same exact way. This Blender Kit thing is really helpful, like for beginners or even just getting ideas across and getting things going. This is really helpful. It's a free add-on. They have a subscription version, but I don't think you need the subscription version unless you're trying to like do a game or something crazy. The free version is more than enough. You're gonna have enough things to play with, and it's definitely helpful, man. Let me see how this looks right now. I'm not gonna leave it like that, but you guys can see that now. Like with the fabric that Blender Kit provided us, we just retextured that whole T-shirt, and it's the same thing. Like you can save pictures of, let's say, another T-shirt that you like, and then you can bring it in, and now you have that T-shirt as the texture on your beast. You know what I'm trying to say? Because not everybody is art savvy. Not everybody's gonna have an iPad to go back and draw what they want to draw or what they want to see. You can do this. You can go on. However, you can reach out to Kai. You can reach out to all the artists in the thing. Like just make it work. You know what I'm trying to say? Like there's a lot of options. What else? Let me see from the T-shirt itself.
I think it's looking very amazing.
I don't know. As far as the T-shirt itself, and then you can always get crazy. Like you can depending on the scene that you're trying to make, I guess you can say. Like let's peel away all these materials real fast. Give me 1 second. Let me Command Z this. Let me see.
I mean, I think the T-shirt texture is not like continuous.
No, it wasn't continuous because that's where the UV comes in, but that's for another day. That's why I like showing people how to use the image planes as opposed to like wrapping in material, because there is more steps to it. You know, like there's a lot more steps. But for what we want to do currently right now, like the image planes work. They work magic. Let me see. Let me take this texture off. And then, so like, let's say if you're making a scene and you're walking in the night and you want your character to look, you know, like it's a glowing shirt. All of that stuff is here for you to play with, bro. Like, if you go to your mission, that's what this is. This is gonna be like the neon, like the way that anything that's gonna, you know, like shine. If you need light, if you need anything, like this is a good way. Yeah, there we go, my boy. Kuba's ready. Yo, so on the emission, like this is cool for a lot of little things. So let's say like even if you build a scene and it's like a nightclub or a night scene or whatever, and you have a light bulb and or anything, and you want some reflection, some cool, like any little thing, like just to switch it up and play around with it. Like if you was to play with the emission, like you'll get some cool results. Like let me see, let's switch the emission color to that same yellow. Let's see what's up. And then let's bring it lower. Like, look, you don't have to use it to like to emit anything. Sometimes you can use it to make what you are going more vibrant. Depending, like you just gotta low scale it. Like once you start going crazy, it's definitely gonna be a neon shirt. You know what I'm trying to say? And like a light bulb. But I think that with the shirt itself, or not even the shirt, just the basic modeling, like on the next one, I'll touch on building off the body. But I feel like right now, building from the body is ideal because it's gonna fit your beast perfect. And you can just like start seeing how it's gonna look on your beast as you go already, kind of, instead of waiting for like the final result and then like deciding, oh, I don't like this part, or I don't like this. If you work it how we just ran through it right now, up until the end game, you still have time and like place or room for error and to fix and stuff like that, you know?
Yo, Sazzy, there's a question from Ace. Let's say this shirt is yellow, right? Can you show him how to change, let's say, the sleeves like a baseball shirt, or you'll do the sleeves a different color?
Yeah, 100%. All right, cool. Let's get to that quick. 1 second. Let me take all this emission stuff off. All right, cool. So it's gonna be the same. All right. So when I click edit, and let me go back a bit so we don't have all of that stuff, because that's something that you would want to do prior to like all this finalizing and stuff anyway. Also, let me see. I don't think I'm gonna have that option. All right, cool. But let's just do this again then. I'm gonna delete the shirt and I'm just gonna do it again just to get back to the basic part. I'm gonna click tab. Hold on. I'm gonna click tab to go into edit mode. Click C for the circle selector. I'm gonna go back to selecting everything from earlier. I'm gonna do a rough version right now just so you guys can get that across the like selecting the colors and stuff. So the same idea still pertains. Like I still need to select the vertices that let me make the shirt real fast again. I'm sorry. Real quick. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna show him right now, Red. I got you right now, gang. Let me go back to C, select these, make sure nothing's missing. I don't need that part. All right, and then on this side, make sure the same thing. All right, cool. So I'm gonna separate this again, the same thing. I'm gonna shift D to duplicate. I'm gonna leave it there in the same exact place and right click, separate. And I'm gonna separate by selection. Now, when I click tab again, I can click away from this or the t-shirt. The t-shirt is not gonna be perfect right now because I'm just assuming that we remember those parts. You know what I'm trying to say? But so look, so let's say on this side, let me make this. Let me set geometry, set origin to geometry, scale up a little bit, and let's change the color again to white. Okay, cool. So the same exact thing. I'm gonna move it into position just enough so we can get the idea going. All right, let's just leave it there for now. But now if I wanted to switch the color on this sleeve, for example, I'm gonna go back into tab and select the faces of where I want that color. So let's say if I only wanted one stripe coming down the side, I'm gonna select these right here that are coming down the side. You know what I'm trying to say? And I'll select this on the same side over here. And then you can do the same exact thing. Shift D for duplicate, leave it in the same spot, and then you can also separate selection. Now that's gonna do this. Hold on, give me 1 second. It's separated. So now look. So now let's say 1 second. Sorry. No. All right, and let's make this pink just so I can see it. Why is it doing so? Oh, I didn't. Okay, hold on. So shift.
You're doing, yeah. So right there, all you gotta do is press the plus to add the second color to it. On the right side, yeah, the plus, and then so it's gonna create the new material, and now you hit whatever color you want, and then press assign, and that's gonna make it assigned to that specific spot.
Now let me ask you a question, Panda. Why is it that I need to assign it there?
Because you're doing it in the edit mode.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so pretty much if you're doing stuff inside the edit mode, whatever you're working in that mode. So let's say you, because it's not showing up there either. I think it's because you have it where, wait up. I'm trying to figure that out. You did it right. So I'm just trying to figure out why it's not like popping up.
Sometimes Blender does that, bro. Let me see something. It does. It be acting up. Let me see something. So let me duplicate. Do I even have them? Okay. So let me separate these real fast. Let me just do the whole.
Okay.
Hold on. All right. So I'm gonna just let me see. Do I have them separated here? All right. Let me try something. I'm gonna leave these like this. Go back and select. Did I separate it? No, that's the problem. I didn't separate it. Where we at? All right, cool. Select this again. Let me see. Okay, now it's part. Duplicate, Shift D. I'm gonna leave it there. I just want to try something. I'm gonna separate the selection. And now let me try something real quick. I want to see this. All right, cool. I just wanted to show something. So
yeah.
This is good for when you're trying to add like layer over layer on clothes, not just for switching the color kind of, because then this you're still gonna have to modify to the same exact way that I was explaining. So you don't want any gaps and stuff like that. So you're gonna have to take this, go back into vertices, and this is just you're trying to add like, so let's say like you know how sometimes you have clothing that has like how can I say it? Like instead of just a seam, it's a whole different piece of cloth. You know what I'm trying to say? Let me go back to the simple though, because this is already getting into a next thing already. Let's go back to oh no, my Blender crashed.
You're good, man.
Sorry, we're coming right back. The idea though is to select the area that you want to switch the color and then just separating the material. Reopen. Let's see if I can get that same thing back. No? Nah, it's not giving me that. All right, cool. We're just gonna start it up again real fast. I'm just gonna load in one of the Beast T-shirts to like that we can get it kicking. 1 second. Everybody, yeah, everybody in here is not gonna have to be going through this. I got the worst computer out of all of us. Don't worry.
That's all good, dude. You're good, man.
Let me just load in a regular Beast t-shirt, GOV, top t-shirt.
Mm. Mm. They Blender crashes. It does.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you use. I use both Mac or PC, and I experience like this, crashing here and there. But the cool thing about Blender is that there's a lot of ways that it saves your progress, and you could do a lot of different options that will save multiple saves for you, as well as you can time it when you want it to save. You know, and so like if you do get a crash or something, it'll pull up exactly where you left off. So, um, yeah, like it's in like the preferences. You go into like save and load, and it gives you like different options, and then you could tell it like how many files you wanted to save, where you want to save these things to, and stuff like that. So
what helps me sometimes too, because sometimes I get ahead of myself and I don't save a lot of the time.
Mhm.
So what I had to do was go into my settings and fix the amount of times that I can Control Z.
Oh yeah, you can change that up too. I always put like the max.
I had to, bro, because I've been in those situations. But I forgot who it was. It's on the preferences, and for sure, I'll find it for you and send it over to you in a second.
Yeah, right now I have it under 256 undo steps.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. You crazy, bro?
Yeah, dude. Like, I need it.
The thing is too that sometimes you're playing with Blender and you don't notice, but every little thing that you do, the camera move, select, deselect, all of that is an action, and that's all getting tracked on that Control Z part.
Yep.
It's crazy. But yo, gang, look, I'll definitely touch on it way more next time, just because we'll have more time and stuff like that. But just for overall, like if you go into edit mode and you select whatever area of that shirt or that garment or whatever that you want separate color, and you just separate. Let me see which part is it. I think it's this.
You're not showing your screen if you're trying to show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I gotta. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that. So this is just a regular T-shirt from the collection, and it's already subdivided and everything. So I'm not gonna get like too in detail with it yet, but just for overall knowledge, like if you select the sleeve on that T-shirt that you're trying to switch up, for example, like let's just say I did select it correctly right now, and this was the entirety of that selection that I wanted to switch up. I'm gonna right click and separate by material real quick. I think this is gonna work. Let me see something. No, it's not working on that. Why?
If you need to, I have mine set up as well, ready to go. If you want me to,
I would love that, Panda, because this is not right now.
Let me. I'm ready to go. So let me know. All right, cool. Just to show it real quick, I'm gonna pretty much just use the gloves that I have. Give me a second. Wait, what's going on here? Mine think things all messed up now.
It's always like that, bro. When it's go time.
Oh, there it goes. Okay, is it going? It's even streaming right now. I don't see anything, dude. That is. Oh, there it goes. All right, cool. You guys see my beast? All right. So pretty much how I do it. Let's say with I'm gonna just mess with the gloves right now. So right now I have it selected where it shows the gloves. And if you go on the right side of it, you see how it shows the off-white here. So what I usually do is I'll set up a different color. I'll press the plus button, which is add material slot, and then it'll open up a new material. So here, let's say I want it to be purple or whatever. So let's go purple, and then it'll show the material here. But as you can see, it's not changing it because the main material is the top one, the off-white. So what I do is I go ahead and select it. I'll press the tab button to go to edit mode. And here I'll click the planes that I want to work with. So I just highlighted this whole section right here. And I just make sure that new color that I pick is selected, and I hit assign, and then it changes it.
I see. That's a new way for me. That's dope.
Yeah, so that's how I usually do it. So what it does too, it'll give you, since you can start actually setting up your colors already, and then so you can start manipulating what you want to do. So let's say here I want to make this a little bit crazier, and I want to make it into an emission, and I want this thing to be like really bright for some weird reason. And then so I'll have that material set. I'll go back into the glove, and then I'll put it on the thumb, and then I'll hit assign, and then that's going to give that color. So when I go, that's like the glow color. So here, if I turn on the bloom effect, they'll start glowing.
Yo, gang, but Panda, I have a question on that. Because I'm learning this fresh right now. So can you show me the UV map to the glove now that it's like this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like, can you go to the UV?
The UV.
Yeah, no, on the top where it says layout UV.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
Select all. Let me see something. So it doesn't show it as on the mapping, huh?
There it is.
Oh, it still doesn't change it. That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, because what you do, since you have because when I started learning Blender and materials, like I started just trying to figure out how to do things as, as separate as I could. So when I started learning materials and colors, I had the same questions. I'm like, well, if I want to change this color, I don't want to have to duplicate and then erase and then, keep it on top of each other. And then I started figuring out how to use like different materials. So now, like whatever I assign is going to be like that specific thing.
No, that's super helpful, bro. And then the fact that it doesn't change the UV map that's dope.
Yeah, so I'm glad I was able to teach you something.
Oh no, that's gonna help my workflow now.
Oh, that's dope. Another thing that I saw you do that I can give another little tip on is when let's say you have like the body, right? And right now you were pressing C to highlight, but then you were going around like the whole model to select like the rest of it. Wait up. Now I'm frozen. Hold on. Oh, Blender, you're crazy, bro. Okay. So right now, how you were going like this and you're highlighting, but then you were going around to try to wrap it around. A tip I can give you right now is if you hit right here on the top, there's an option that says toggle X-ray mode.
Yeah.
Select. Oh, okay. Because here, if you just do it with one, it'll wrap the whole thing.
No, you know what it is with me, Panda? Yeah. That I was just imagining it how when I first came across it, I couldn't understand why not select.
Okay.
Yeah, I just try to run it in a. I definitely thank you for that, but I definitely knew the extra.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, but I'm glad.
No, for sure, hell yeah, that helps a lot.
But yeah, man, I mean that's pretty much like how I set it up, but here, like I said, you can start adding that material that you created because it's always going to stay inside your dock of colors that you've been making.
Cool,
yeah,
that is super cool, bro.
So hopefully that helps and gives you guys. I'm glad it helped you, man. Like that's really cool. But,
I'm telling you, legit, gang. Like that's gonna improve the workflow 100%.
Yeah, dude, that's good. But it's in edit mode, like I said, and you just like start toggling your stuff. But the top one is always going to be your main color. And so if you are, let's say you're trying to set up something new, if you start changing it, it's going to start changing this. But you have to make sure that you're just adding new colors to it, and then you start, working with those new colors. But yeah, that's like a little tip.
Hell yeah, appreciate that.
Awesome.
Look at that. I came in here to teach and I'm leaving a student. You see, it is.
Let's go.
That's what it's about, gang. I appreciate you.
Yeah, man, of course. Oh yeah, can you see when I'm pressing preferences here? No, right?
Won't be able to see it unless you share your
No.
screen.
Oh wait, I know what to do. Let me figure. Oh, I have to share it actually as my desk. Give me a second. Let me see if I can change my window.
You have to share it as a screen as opposed to just the app.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It doesn't even. Oh, screens. There it is. I got it. I got it. I'm changing it up. All right, here we go. So now you go into edit preferences. There we go. Okay, so here it's going to be under system, and this is where you get to pick your undo steps. And I go all the way to 256 because that's just how I roll. But you have the 256, and then that's all I mess with there. And then for save and load, I usually do. Right now, I have it at 2 versions, but you can do whatever you want. But this is the minutes, the timer of when it auto saves. And what I was saying about, like, let's say if it crashes, right? When you open it up, what you do is you hit file and then recover, and then you hit auto save, and it's gonna start pulling up all your things that it started saving in the background for you. So all these how were auto save for me. And it's not like how Photoshop is, where if you hit Control Save, that's the only save you get. No, it starts auto saving every 2 minutes, and and you tell it, okay, well, I wanted to auto save every 5 times or whatever every 2 minutes, and then it'll just start doing that for you in the background. So it's just makes things a lot easier, especially when you hit the crashes that you usually do during the time that you're working on like a big render or anything like that. It'll just save that progress for you. But 256. Yeah, and then another thing I was saying, like if you are on a Mac, I'm pretty sure Sassy is using a 3-button mouse.
No,
Um,
Magic Mouse, guys.
oh, so you're using the shortcuts then on your keyboard.
100%.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so if you are on a Mac, you do have to learn your shortcuts. Like if you hold command and that will make you turn around. And if you hold alt, I think
If you hold shift, it's gonna slide the screen.
yeah. Yeah, I'll start shifting it like this, and if you hold the Alt button on the Mac, you'll start like zooming in and out or something because you don't have the mouse wheel. But I mean, if you do buy a 3-button mouse, like if you get one, you could hook it up in the PC and it'll just act like it'll give you all the controls. Like you can just go buy a cheap $20 mouse, man, and you'd be good, and you don't have to worry about learning all these shortcuts. But I mean, if you already do know them, like how Sassy does and or how I do, then you're good to go until your mouse.
I don't know all the shortcuts. It's a lot, but
Yeah, it's a lot.
But if you do learn at least one shortcut per day, bro, your workflow is improving crazy by the end of the month. 100%.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. But oh yeah, man. But with our powers combined, dude.
With our powers combined. No, appreciate you for that, bro. I didn't even know that, to be honest. I didn't even know that you can separate it like that. So that's definitely something new to me.
Yeah.
Now, go ahead, King Red. You can take us out with that.